Young World, LOD 321, LOD versus the Internet. This story comes via my cousin Young Sparks telling me about the Jaindl family of Pennsylvania, from right here where we're from in the Lehigh Valley, who I never heard of before. But I'll just give you a little bit of background about the Jaindl family history and legacy. To continue the 80-year tradition of raising premium turkeys and pioneer for new ideas and better ways to breed, hatch, grow, and feed our turkeys. 1935, Jaindl Farms is established by John L. Jaindl when he and his son Fred began growing turkeys on a farm in Allentown, Pennsylvania. 1954, Jaindl turkeys would win the Grand Champion, Reserve Champion, and Best Display in the Worldwide National Turkey Federation competition. 1965, Fred Jaindl purchases the farm from his father, with John continuing to work as general manager. At this time, the farm is raising and marketing 200,000 birds per year and farming 500 acres. 1967, Jaindl builds a computerized feed mill in Orrville, Pennsylvania. 1969, Jaindl builds a state-of-the-art processing plant in Orrville, Pennsylvania. 1973, Jaindl builds the turkey hatchery. Production and distribution have increased to nearly 1 million turkeys each year. Over 6,000 acres of prime land are farmed in Lehigh, Northampton, and Berks counties. 1980, David Jaindl, Fred's son, takes over as general manager of the farm. 1990, land holdings have increased to almost 10,000 acres. 1991, Jaindl lands the first big land deal with Nestle. It will become Nestle's largest distribution center in the country and would lead the start of Jaindl's 1,000-acre Lehigh Valley West Industrial Park. 2004, land holdings have increased to over 13,000 acres. 2005, Dave Jaindl purchases the farm to continue the family tradition. In 2014, Jaindl Farm raises 750,000 turkeys annually and produces 1,800 tons of feed each week for the turkeys. All sounds pretty much normal, sounds like a traditional family entrepreneurial story, but that's not why we're here tonight. So here's where it gets spooky. When my cousin first told me about the story, he thought it was weird that the Jaindl Sr. and his son both died in car crashes. And I was like, yeah, it is kind of weird. So then when I looked it up, what I actually found was not only Jaindl and his son died in car crashes, but also Jaindl's son-in-law died in a car crash exactly 7 years after Jaindl died in a car crash, and on the same exact date, March 29th. They both died on the car crash on March 29th, and like I said, Jaindl's son died 17 years before that in a car crash. Now that to me is extremely weird. All three of them died in car crashes. Two of them died the same date in a car crash, which just seems totally unrealistic and unbelievable. So me being the conspiracy nut that I am, whatever you want to call it, the Reach King, I'm gonna have to sit here and say that the powers that be, for whatever reason, wanted to eliminate the Jaindls that weren't going to go along with whatever program that they was trying to run, and his son-in-law wasn't part of the business. But what it looks like is that they was trying to eliminate him before he even thought about being part of the business, whether it was somebody in the Jaindl family or some type of political powers or political strengths that have the Jaindl family involved in something more even creepy, like maybe cloning turkeys or something like that. I mean, who knows how deep this story goes. They own 13,000 acres of Pennsylvania. They're raising 750,000 turkeys a year. And another thing about them is they're the biggest user in Pennsylvania of the visa program, which means they bring agricultural workers from Mexico to do all their work. They have to advertise work first in the community for people that want to work. So they have people coming from Mexico to do most of their work. And there was a lot of things around this area in Pennsylvania that was going on a few years ago with ICE raiding certain businesses, and people were being accused of using Mexican workers without green cards. But come to find out, the whole entire bigger story of it was the government itself was sending Mexican workers here. They would send them here, work them to death for 2 months, send them back out, and keep doing the same thing with the cycle over and over and over and over. It's that way, doing it like that, they avoided being detected. But yeah, I think that's extremely creepy and definitely not normal. Something has to be going on with this situation. But the Jaindls are not just turkey farmers. The Jaindls own so much land in this area and in Pennsylvania that many of the local industrial parks and industrial warehouses are on Jaindl land. So not only are they, like I said, producing all those turkeys and other fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, tons of corporations around this area rent their property directly off the Jaindl family land. So that's why I say there's a lot more going on with this story than just what it sounds like with these car accidents that happen. There's a lot of political influence going on with this story. Right there you can see all the different Jaindl real estate and land holdings in this area. It's the Allentown, Bethlehem, Eastern area right here, Lehigh Valley. You can just see, pull it back a little bit, all those dots are all different Jaindl family land holdings right there. You're talking big business. This is not just no minor little small time thing. This is big deal stuff going on right here. Further proof that the Jaindl Corporation is not a small time business and is way bigger than it appears to be is that dating back to the Kennedy administration, the National Turkey Federation every year has asked the same turkey farm in Orfield, PA to send 2 dressed, which is a nicer word for ready-to-eat birds, to the first family. Jaindl Turkey Farms proudly boasts on its website that it has been asked to supply the turkey that graces the holiday table at the White House each Thanksgiving. So that right there tells you that this company has extremely far reach